Zoe Billingham is from the think tank, the Institute for Public Policy Research North, and she's here, as you can see. Thank you for coming in, Zoe. How will this work, do you think?
I think this is great news today about economic growth being driven out of the North and out of Number 10 North. The Prime Minister came in and promised to deliver on growth in every postcode, good growth in every postcode, and I think the signs are good. So I'm really hopeful that this is actually just the beginning of devolution out of London.
You used to work in the Treasury. He's effectively taken a big chunk of what the Treasury is responsible for and taken it away from the Chancellor, taken it away from the people in London, of which you used to be one, and put it up in Manchester. There's a risk, is there, that he'll alienate the Treasury here?
I think actually the risk is that the Treasury has almost got too much to do as it stands, because it's both the ministry that kind of keeps a tab on public spending, and it's also the ministry that's meant to deliver growth. And frankly, growth in recent years has been pretty anaemic, so I'm not sure it's been delivering on that job. So I think it's quite right, actually, to split the functions of the Treasury and say to the Treasury, look, you're really good at doing this bit, which is the public spending control, but actually let's move the other bit to Manchester, to Number 10 North, and really kind of reach new people in the country and, you know, allow that Number 10 North to really grow and expand its role, to reach out to businesses in the Northwest, of course, but also across the North, the Midlands and the rest of the country, and empower them. I think it's their time to shine.
How will it work in practical terms then? Because you're taking over, I mean, there's a big picture of a big building we showed a minute ago. They've not got the whole of that building even, have they? I know they're building a new one, but are they going to have enough people to actually do what they've been tasked to do?
I think it's actually pretty impressive how quickly they've got up and running. I mean, this was only, you know, announced to the country, what, a month ago or so, and already the fact that they've got civil servants there, they've got political advisors, they're hosting the National Economic Council, they've had the mayors there. You know, this is already an operation. And as you say, they will be due to move offices, and I'm sure the team will expand again, and especially with this new remit handed over to it from the Treasury. So this is really just the beginning, but already I think they've started well.
If you're in Scotland or Wales or Northern Ireland, which I know we're not, that probably means nothing to you whether it's in Manchester or in London. Critics have called this a gimmick. Is it a gimmick?
Well, firstly, I'd push back on the idea that this means nothing to our nations as well. I mean, if you've ever tried getting a train to Glasgow or to Edinburgh from London, you'll know that actually it's a lot better from the north and a lot quicker. So actually that proximity, I think, could help and make a big bit of difference. So actually, I think, you know, it's easy to be cynical, right? When things change, when there are people who are invested in the status quo, which is a very centralised country where power and resources are hoarded in the southeast of this country. I mean, we're an anomaly as a country. When we look across our peers in Europe, like the UK as it stands is an oddity. So really, this is a course correction to get us back on track.
The last Northern Prime Minister, Harold Wilson, tried something similar. You were telling me earlier, which didn't really work. What happens if this doesn't work?
Well, look, I think just to pick up on the Wilson point, that was obviously over 60 years ago, and I do think there are good ideas and good timing. So I think, you know, we're ready for the decentralisation of power to really pick up a pace. Perhaps the country 60 years ago wasn't quite there yet. So actually, it's in all of our interests. You know, my organisation, IPPR North, whether it's businesses in the North, charities and other stakeholders, the mayors, it's in all of our interests.
You've given them some advice already?
Well, you know, we're working closely with them, of course, because we're delighted that the centre of power is shifting, and that's something we've long called for.
Zoe, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it. Zoe Billingham there from the Institute for Public Policy Research North.